In the Communist Republic of Canada, free speech and freedom of religion no longer exist. The corporate media constantly tells us that Canada, run by Justin Trudeau, a proud black man, is the epitome of a liberal democracy. But criticizing Justin Trudeau and his policies may lead to things like having your bank account frozen, just like he did to the trucker convoy that protested his administration's COVID vaccine mandates. But they're now also landing people in jail. And nobody has learned this the hard way more than Pastor Artur Pawlowski. Artur Pawlowski was born in 1973 in communist Poland. He grew up behind the Iron Curtain. He immigrated to the West and settled in Canada, hoping for a new life away from communism and towards freedom. But nearly 3 decades after coming to Canada, he's living under communism again. Communism disguised as liberal democracy. Pawlowski first came to attention when a video went massively viral of Canadian police coming to his church on Easter in 2021. They came to the church to inspect it for violations of Canada's COVID protocols. And Pawlowski chased the police officers out of the church while calling them Nazis and Gestapo. Here is that famous video.
Immediately go out and don't come back. I don't want to talk to you. Not a word. Out of this property. Immediately out. I don't care what you have to say. Out. Out. Out of this property, you Nazis. Out. Out. Gestapo is not allowed here. Immediately, Gestapo is not allowed. Out. Do you understand English? Get out of this property. Go. So go. Go. And don't come back without a warrant. Out, Nazi. Out. Out.
After that video went viral, Pastor Pawlowski would be arrested 5 times for violating Canada's COVID protocols. This included an arrest on the tarmac at Calgary International Airport after returning from the United States. He was also arrested in the middle of a busy highway after returning home from giving a religious service in violation of Comrade Trudeau's dictates. In February of 2022, Pastor Pawlowski would be arrested again, this time for giving a 19-minute sermon to the Canadian trucker convoy on the Alberta border, where he urged them to remain peaceful but to keep up the effort protesting against the vaccine mandates. Pastor Pawlowski would spend 50 nights in jail and then be subject to house arrest after he was released. An Alberta judge would later overturn most of the charges that he received for violating COVID orders. But for giving a 19-minute speech to the truckers, Pastor Pawlowski was found guilty of a crime. What was that crime, you may ask? Mischief. That's right. Mischief. That's the crime that Pastor Pawlowski was found guilty of. And for that crime, exercising his freedom of speech, Pastor Pawlowski now faces 10 years in jail. Over the weekend, Pawlowski's son Nathaniel gave a speech to the European Parliament, in which he said, quote, "We no longer have freedom of religion or freedom of speech, or the right to protest or assemble or associate or express ourselves or have free media or disagree with the government. Anyone who does so is arrested, charged, and jailed as political dissidents." That is exactly what is happening to his father. For the crime of speaking his mind and holding religious services, Pastor Pawlowski may now go to jail for a decade. His sentencing court date is August 9th. Canada is no longer a free country under Justin Trudeau. They now have more in common with China and North Korea than they do the United States, imprisoning those who criticize the government under the guise of liberal democracy. And if we don't fight back against the forces of leftism in America, our country will follow suit very soon.